Hello everyone, PDF here, and welcome back to another episode from the Bedrockin Minecraft server. As you can see where I'm standing, we're going to be working on our next build, which just happens to be our tea shop. Now we've got a nice little area started here. We have our onsen, we have our ramen shop, we are going to have our tea shop, and then I got to figure out what other couple of things we want to put in. And then maybe what I want to do with this path here. I have this kind of started as just something to have in place, but I might go with maybe a mixed stone type path. Maybe, dirt, some coarse dirt and stuff. I'm not sure exactly yet, having it lead down this way. But we'll kind of decide. I think maybe we'll try and get the buildings in place first, and then we'll figure that out. Just because sometimes in front of the buildings they'll have like a little walk thing, because then they'll have like a little gutter that the water can drain from the streets on. And we may do something like that. We might, and we have a summer salting panda over there. Okay. We might do something that is very distracting. We might do something like that. There we go. I just stand there and watch the panda otherwise. We might do something like that afterwards, but like I said, I think we'll get the buildings in place first and kind of go from there. And he's got the tongue out. You're adorable, aren't you? Yes, you are. You're adorable. Now, as you can see, this is where the tea shop is going to go. What I've done is I've gone ahead and put the floor in this inside area here. This is going to be the floor size, and then where this wool is going to be where the exterior building part is going to be located. So this will end up being the same size as this building. Like I said in the last episode, it'll just look a little different, but they're based off the same basic structure. So let me go ahead and get some of these exterior walls in place so we can kind of see where we're going, and then we'll jump back in from there. Alright, so we're back. As you can see, the exterior is currently done. And we've got a little bit of a pathway going around it. I try to follow his video exactly as it shows, but I mean, the stonework out here can be totally random, however you want. I just try and do it like he shows, because I just try and follow the tutorials exactly. But we can always change this up later. It's just for the sake of following his tutorial. We have our back entrance right there. Some nether brick fencing as the window, kind of a different color change there. And now what we're going to be doing is coming inside and we're going to start working on the interior. So let me get a few things in place and then we'll come take a look at it. Alright, and we are back. And also with that, we are complete. So let's go ahead and take a quick walk around inside and we'll see what all the fun goodies this thing has in store is. So as you can see, this is kind of the main lobby area. We have a nice little floor mat here, some brewing stands around for decoration. I always try and put a sign, designed by Cortezerino. If it's somebody specific's design that I've used, I'll try and make note of it somewhere if I can. Thinking, I'm going to start doing that more, just so that way at least if anybody comes by, they can go, oh, where did he get this design from? And just make it a little easier. Now, if we look up on the second floor here, there's only 2 floors, we have kind of a sitting area. Have some nice decorated banners here with the different patterns and stuff on them. Nice shelf going across here. And a pretty cool looking lantern. It has 4 of these banners, surrounding and stuff. Definitely light enough where nothing is going to spawn, that's for sure. Painting for decoration. And yeah, just all the colors and everything work so well together. I can only imagine how long it took him to come up with the original design. I'm just glad I found it because it suits my purposes perfectly. And of course, like I said, we have the exterior now with some banners on it. And as I said before, we got the little walkway. I'm not sure still if I'm going to make this, continue this all the way around or incorporate it into maybe this roadway, change this from a path into stone. So when we come down here, make little stonework around this side even. Not 100% sure, but still plenty of time. I think I'll get the buildings in first before I figure out that exactly. Alright, and then I still want to add some other shops to either side, so I'll definitely have to look through both his playlists and just generally around to see what else I might want to add. He has some house designs I think we'll use on a different side at some point. We still have our project over here. Now let's go take a look at that. I haven't done anything else to it since that last little sneak peek, but I think we'll talk about it a little bit more now, because it's going to be the next kind of big project, if you will. So, like I said last time, this is the area of what it's going to be. Most of this is going to be, I'm going to say not most, but at least some of this is going to be just kind of the grounds, and then there'll be a building in the middle that takes up a good chunk of this space. But what we are going to be putting here is a shrine. Very commonly found all over Japan. Different kinds and sizes. I just want to do a little more research before I fully start, just to make sure if I got to add anything specific, make it a little more functional and correct. We've got some space back here that we can do stuff with if need be. Cleaned out some trees and stuff. Know the exact centers right there. Have a sheep. Very important when you're building a shrine to have a sheep. Not a red one though, no blood sheep. That's a different series. And of course we have all our pandas, and somewhere around here is the somersaulting one. Where, yeah, he just loves to somersault all around. They make their way around the grounds, so it's kind of a neat little addition. But yeah, I think it's starting to come along just nicely. Let's come over to this side kind of the little lake area and take a look, just to kind of get the whole picture together really. And yeah, I think that's coming along pretty darn good. Noodle shop, tea shop, onsen, castle that the interior still needs done, but at least the exterior is done finally. Alright, we're going to have a very nice looking little resort street here in no time. I think we maybe have to add a garden in somewhere too. Just like a little park sitting area somewhere. I'm not sure where exactly yet though. We're about as far on this side over as we can be. That right there is kind of the line. Yep, right here. So we don't have much room to expand this way. Plenty of room this way at least. I'm sure we could go over a little bit that way if we asked, but I really want to try and keep it all within the bounds. You know, nothing over the 400 line. I have plenty of room, so it shouldn't be an issue. Why, hello there. Alright, so with our build done, we still have some time left in the episode, so I decided there's something else I want to build. As you noticed, one of the materials I used in that build, we used some basalt. Well, I have a little basalt generator in my base. I'll show it off sometime, you know, in a different episode. It's nothing fancy or special or anything. But that got me thinking. We don't actually have a basalt generator here at spawn. Not that there's any great demand for it, but it is nice to have the farm available for people if they want to do it. So I'm right in this spot here behind me. I'm going to be making a little basalt farm, and we're going to be decorating it. So I'll be doing it kind of as a tutorial actually. So let me gather the materials and then we'll get started. Alright, here we are where I'm going to be building the basalt generator. As you can see, I've gone ahead and put the double chest in the ground ready, just so I could kind of mark out where it's going to be. The generator itself is going to be 5 by 7, but as you can see, the area I cleared out is bigger than that, because that's also going to be for the structure around it that I'm going to make, just to kind of help pretty it up a little bit and make it look a little nicer. Made a design in Creative that I'm actually quite fond of, so it's kind of styled a little bit like the buildings back at my base. So that kind of Japanese style that Cortezerino did a little bit, but the building itself is kind of my original idea. The farm, however, is the one that Prowl made in last season of the Bedrock Guide. So if you're familiar with that, you can just look up Prowl, Basalt Generator, same kind of deal. It's a pretty standard one, but we'll still be going over it anyways. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we need, and then let's get started. So I have, it should be all the materials that I'm going to need here in this chest. We have a variety of solid blocks. I went with deep slate and some cracked ones. That's just for texturing to make it. It's going to be covered up anyways, but still, I mean, I'll know it's there. Some slabs because I want to cover the roof because bucket of lava, we're going to need that, and I don't like falling in. Anywhere's from 2 to 6 rails. It's really up to you. It depends how often you feel like moving the rails, really. 5 soil, and this is important. It has to be the soil, not the sand. 5 blue ice. Again, can't be the packed ice or the regular ice. Has to be the blue. 5 hoppers. 5 minecart with hoppers. A crafting table. A trapdoor. And this was just the dirt from where the chest is. Not a required component. So the first thing we're going to do is put these hoppers in. First thing I'm going to do is switch to my shovel so I can do this easier. And we're going to crouch in place. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Next, we're going to grab the soil, and I'll put that in there, and some of the solid blocks we're going to need. What we're going to do is build up a little bit around this, not the whole thing. And then we're going to place the 5 blocks of soil on top of the hoppers. And we'll go like that because we're going to need those later anyways. And then these are just temporary, these 5, but we're going to need them for the minecart with hoppers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now if you go with 2 rails, you're just going to go like this, put one on there, take them down, move it over. If you're going with 6 like I am, you can actually do 3 at a time here. So we'll place, and then we'll push them in. The reason you do 3 at a time and not all the way across Now I can actually show you here. If you were to try and place another one, they would just turn. And it would get messy, and it's just more trouble than it's worth. So we'll push that in. And you may have to come check the chest, because they like to go in there. And then we can put the last two in. And those will just pick up whatever falls on top of this at a faster rate than just the hoppers. Like as you can see, that sucked the rail right in there. And we're done with those. Next, I'm going to grab this trapdoor, and we'll just move our solid blocks down here again. What we're going to do is put solid blocks along here now. That way those minecarts will never move. And then I like to put one in front here. Same reason, to keep the minecart in place. And then just, you know, a little spacing and just decor, really. No particular reason other than that. You could use an upside down stair even if you want to. I just like it because, yeah, it gives me something I can kind of lean up against, and I'm still just far enough away. The only other thing we're going to need that I didn't put in here is either a button or sign of some kind, but we can grab that later. I will need the crafting table, however, and the ice. So the crafting table goes here. Why do I put a crafting table there? Well, player's reach in Bedrock is 5 blocks. You can mine, cut, whatever, 5 blocks in front of you. It's more of an off-chance thing, really. If somehow you were to keep striking this, as you can see with a pickaxe, it takes a while to get through. Stone, it goes through immediately. That's why you don't use stone in a farm that you're going to have a pickaxe, like directly in line. Plus, if this were to catch fire, it may burn, but it will never consume it. So they're good for that, just as kind of a fireproof block in a way. Gonna bring that all the way across. Piece on the end there, and now we need the ice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, counting with PDF. Next, I'm going to make myself a little stairway, because we're going to need to put another layer of blocks on all the way across, and then we can put the one that's going to cover our head. Now, you don't need to put a button or something there. I do, just kind of a safety thing. So let me grab some stone. We can just use a stone button. That'll work. Boop. Now, we're going to need the lava. And that can just go right in the middle. And as you can see, as it spreads out, lava plus blue ice equals basalt. And then I like to take the slabs and I'll go on top because it's a little dangerous there. This is all going to get covered up with the building later anyways. But it won't interfere in the building at all anyways. Safety first. So in terms of the structure, the farm itself, that's it. That is the farm complete. So we can stand here and go like this as much as we want. And as you can see, basalt. So that's a quick, easy farm to get basalt. No fuss, no muss. Very simple to put together, very few materials, no redstone needed whatsoever. A little iron pricey depending on where you are in the game, but not unmanageable. I said you don't even technically need the button because the lava, once it hits that blue ice, will turn to basalt. Now, the next step is going to be decorating it. I do have, like I said, a design that I've worked out. What I'm going to do, I'm going to switch the contents of the chest here, and then I'll bring our needed materials over, and we'll get started on the building around it. Didn't end up needing the cracked brick, but I mean, if you're just going to leave it like this, feel free to texturize it as you want. Alright, so I have our materials for the build. Now, these are not exact amounts because I don't know exactly how many, so I tend to grab just a couple stacks of things. So we're gonna need a couple stacks of spruce logs. Not gonna need nearly that many, but I'd rather have too many than not enough. A couple stacks of dark oak, some jungle logs because we're gonna be making jungle trap doors as an accent piece. Some spruce wood stairs. These are just left over from when I made the stairs, but we will be using them for the walls. We're going to need some blackstone for the roof. We're going to be using blackstone brick slabs and polished blackstone slabs. 6 lanterns, 4 lighting blocks. Could be sea lanterns, could be shroom lights. I prefer shroom lights. I just happen to have some glowstone that I could grab quick. 4 cauldrons and 8 oak leaves. So let's go ahead and grab some of our wood. And we'll start off with some of the spruce. Okay, now what we're going to do with those is we're actually going to strip those logs. stripped oak for the base, stripped spruce for the base, not oak. And now what I'm gonna do is come over here, and I'll go up 3 on these total. So 1, 2, 3, and over here 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, and again strip. Now what we're gonna do is take some amount of the spruce and turn it into planks, and we'll grab the stairs while we're at it. And then we're just gonna kind of come in here and randomly, you know, mix some stairs in, but we're gonna be putting planks for the walls. Yeah, except in these 2 spots. We're gonna leave those. We're gonna leave those. And the stairs are just to kind of give it a different flavor. Okay, coming along pretty good so far. We will need 1 dark oak door as well. So what I chose to use, it just, I think, looked better overall. Now, if you have the room around it too, you can certainly, like what I ended up doing at the end, in my build world was, since this was just ground, I textured it with some coarse dirt, regular dirt, rooted dirt, mixed in some brown concrete powder and some gravel, just to kind of give it a little textured path around it. Obviously not going to be able to with this, but that's okay. We still have a little bit of decoration we can use with the cauldrons, and those are going to go here and here. The door, however, is going to go here. So let's just go ahead and put these in quick. And unfortunately, this is partly savanna, so I mean, doesn't really matter what. If I had some azalea leaves, I'd use those instead. I may switch them out later. Forgot a block. But for now, we'll go with that. Put those away. We're going to take these. And we'll take the jungle wood, because we're going to need to make some trapdoors. So 1, 2, 3, 4 should be good. Trapdoors are expensive. We're going to need more than that. I don't know off the top of my head how many. We'll count as we go along here. So lighting block, lighting blocks. You want to put these ones on the bottom and these on the top so the handles meet in the middle. Same right here. And then gonna need 1 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. At least 11. You can add or take away as many as you want as you're making it. This is just kind of how I, give it my own little touch. Pardon me. There we go. I think that gives it kind of a nice frame around it. That should be all we need that for. So now with the building around it done, we're going to get into doing the roof part. As you can see, I have some materials on me here, and we'll go over what they are. I'm going to need a total of 4 of these stairs. So 4 polished blackstone stairs, 4 polished blackstone brick stairs, 4 polished blackstone stairs, and then just a mixed amount of the brick slab and the polished slab. I don't have exact numbers, otherwise I would share it. So what we're going to do first, polished stair on there, and we're going to do that on both sides. So polished stair there. Normally this would be, you'd be this level, so things would look a little different. And then what we're going to do from here is, now we're going to need the slabs. We are going to put a brick one right here, and that'll go here and here. Because as the roof goes on, we're going to be alternating, so brick, polish, and just do that all the way down. So we get to the end here, and then brick, brick. But otherwise, you can see they all match up nicely. Alright, a little easier now that we're up here. Now on top of that, we're going to go with slab. This is going to end up sticking up one higher than the rest of it. These two kind of as support ridges. So what we're going to do is go along the roof here and alternate like we did before. That'll be up one, and we're not going to raise that one up because it's already at the level. And then what we're going to do, turn that into a block, and we're just going to continue like we have been. And we'll do the same on this side. Let me make myself a couple of those just to make this easier on me. So some of those up too, just in case we need them. I'm not used to doing tutorials, so it's kind of a little out of my wheelhouse, but trying nonetheless. And then I'm going to end up putting a stair here. We'll grab our stairs, and boop, just like that. And we'll do the same here, because it's going to end up being the same later anyways. We'll go like that. Alright, now we can continue on. And just keep alternating. So for here, we'll go like this, so we can get those onto that level. There we go. As you can see, it's all kind of lining up a little nicer now. I had to come and take a look at it from down here, that's all. There we go. Alright. And then what we're going to do is just continue the same kind of patterns down the roof here. Might have to replace a couple of these. Probably, yeah, my guess would be both on both sides, so we'll just make it easier on ourselves and do it now. Yeah, sometimes people ask why I don't do more tutorials. This would probably be a shining example of why. I am not too familiar with doing them. And you could use the full blocks if you want. Yeah, tutorials are not something I typically do often. But I don't mind giving them a, try every so often a bit more, if people are interested. I just happened to come up with this earlier, and I thought it'd be a neat little build to share. Alright, so that's that all the way across. And as you can see, we have this decorative ridge on both sides. I think it gives it a nice little look. Now, we need to grab our lanterns. Let's throw this stuff back in here. Don't need that. We'll grab our lanterns. Boop, 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 and boop. And there is our building around the basalt farm done. So I thought it kind of fit in with the building style like what I'm doing over there. It's very simple. In my other build, I had pods all along here. And I actually had some of from the nether, the red looking grass stuff along the sides. I thought it just went along with it very well. Don't need these torches under there anymore. We should have more than enough light now to make sure nothing spawns. And yeah, I know we have the light blocks there. I just like the look of the lantern more than anything. But there we have it, a simple basalt farm and a building around it. Not the smoothest tutorial, I admit. But like I said, for not doing them very often, I think it went pretty well. And who knows, maybe I'll, with enough interest, try and do some more tutorials as we go on as well. Not sure exactly what. Probably not some of the big builds, because like I said, I'm following a tutorial as well for doing those. But smaller things like this, hey, maybe I'll see what I can come up with, if there's interest. And then we'll clean up our mess. The only downside to any building project is the big mess. Let's throw everything in here for now. Make it easier to transport. Alright, and with that, I'd say that build is complete. I think that's a good spot to wrap up this episode for now. As for next episode, I think we'll be getting into that shrine a bit more that I had pointed out earlier in the clips here. And we'll go over kind of what the materials I'm going to be using and stuff are, and probably get started on building it. I'm trying to figure out exactly what the best way to make these episodes are. Sometimes for some of those builds there, the bigger ones, I'll record over a few days and edit it down. Still learning. Still a new process for me. But what I might do is kind of do it in segments. I'm not sure if everybody likes the whole build being done one episode, or if they'd rather see it over a couple, just so it's broken up a little bit more. Let me know what you think in the comments. With that, though, I think it's time to call this episode to a close. If you like what you see, go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button. Helps me out immensely. Lets me know you enjoy watching these. That way, I got a reason to keep making more of them. And as always, my name is Phoenix, and this Phoenix has got to fly. I'll catch you next time.